And then, so yeah, hit E to read that. It's got this story about being under Lake Erie and monsters getting you. But the quality of it for a student game was pretty high.
Great. How long did it take you to do this?
So this was made over the course of 3 semesters.
Okay.
And so the first
By
semester,
one person?
by a team. So everything
I actually don't know what to do next.
because working on teams is its own disaster.
Run,
Right.
just
So
run.
we,
I think there's
we
a.
put them on teams of about 10 to 15 people, and so this was a group of about 10 that created this
I'm
game.
very impressed with the look and feel of this thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, this way?
Go that way. It's gonna get you. So it looks really good, and we were able to get professional. That's one of the other things. Is we had a lot of industry partners that let us use professional tools. So this is actually made with the Unreal Engine, but learning that is its own.
Yeah.
Everything is its own nightmare, right? But that's great. So, like this team especially,
Go straight.
at the very end, we're all ready to kill each other. And now that it's been a success, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of. There's a collecting dead cat mechanic in this game. That's the collectible.
I thought you were supposed to swing it, didn't you?
You're supposed to. You get all of them.
Oh, okay.
You can. So that works out pretty well. So, and on the other side of the fence is a good game called Robot Pinball Escape. So why don't you show Robot if you can? Brandon's one of our producers, so he makes magic happen all the time.
I play the games.
He plays them once. Both mental and actual.
That's right.
But, so this next game, Robot Pinball Escape, is a fun one. It is a game that, other thesis game, the pitch was, it evolved. Originally it was, what if you could cheat at pinball, and then it became into, what if you were a robot trapped in a pinball machine? What would it be like? So it's a platformer based on being a robot in a pinball machine. And it's a lot of fun. Uses all the mechanics of pinball, bumpers, things like that, but uses them in a different way. So instead of just trying to get a high score, it's a platforming game. And all the balls are enemies, and if they hit you, you lose health and things like that, right? And this game did really great. It actually it's kind of funny, we feel like it's a silly thing to say, but it's big in Europe. It was actually put on a German gaming magazine's disc, and was sent out to 500,000 people. So in Europe, it was a big game. So those are 2 of the games that are a lot of fun from last year. But I want to give the kids a chance to talk about the games that they're working on now, which I think is fun. So maybe you want to go first, Brandon, and
Sure.
talk about the game you're working on.
Okay.
But again, our process is, again, collaborative, interdisciplinary. We try to add the pressure of, we run this classic studio simulation, right? So instead of being professors, we act like executive producers.
Oh, there we go.
We let the students run their own show. We have them interact with a lot of people outside. And try and teach them not only the skills, but the entrepreneurialism and that hunger, that chase to really try and make something happen, right? That you gotta have that to make it work.
Okay, so the
How'd you guys like to have either of those published under the Atari logo?
Yeah, they'd be all right with that. That'd be a dream come true.
I might be able to arrange that.
Really?
Somebody grab Chris, he's about to faint.
One of the things we're trying to do is, Atari was really cool in the 70s. But we'd love it to be a little cooler than it is right now. And I feel like, standing for something like, hey, we want to be a platform that helps would-be emerging game designers. And we do it and do revenue splits, so there's revenue coming back to you and everything.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Hey,
Let's talk about it.
Nolan, you know
Let's
what you
do
put
it.
in that 20 by 20 box? Indie games from this school.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, that would be, we should talk about
That'd be
that.
wonderful. Okay, so this is a game in progress that we're working on. It's called Zodiac, based on a tiny Zodiac. It's a Connect game for kids. It's a race game where you use poses and transcripts. John Shear is our designer. We're working on it for about 4 months now, 3 months.
Now, what are you in Unreal or?
This is the Unity engine.
Unity engine. So you'll be able to do cross-platform into, Android, iPhone. the whole thing?
Yeah, well, right now it's a Connect
Hopefully.
game, and so like we're trying to open that up. We wanted to get the Connect down first. As soon as that works, then transition into mobile.
Supposedly, the Unity engine isn't perfect, but it works pretty good in cross-platform.
It's pretty
So
good.
you can imagine, instead of doing gestures based on this, which is what they're doing, you have to do things with the accelerators to do it on a mobile platform.
We initially thought about doing like Chinese characters to transform, but it's hard to sketch those out, so we're trying to come up with some other ideas.
What about, you know, in Chinese and Japanese kanji, there's a stroke order.
Yep.
And it seems to me that just using the accelerometers you could do.
Dude.
Yes.
Shaking the stroke order, that would be cool.
That'd be interesting.
Anyway.
You have to choose some for kanji, but you could do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, just simple ones. You can't do the ones that have all those little bloopers on them.
And we got a specialist.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Anurag was one of our engineers. We wanted to show it for you. If you
So Anurag's one of our engineers, and he's actually got a really good story. He came here from India to study games here, then he got an internship at Tiburon, and now he's working on EA games.
Is that the way animals
Did
look
you
in
offer
India?
We're going with kind of a papercraft look. Originally,
it's
we started
good.
with origami, but they look really weird from behind.
Yeah.
So we went papercraft instead.
Well, I like these worlds which are rendered uniquely. Like I was going to mention, I'm a big fan of Minecraft.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's neat in its crappiness.
Well, it has a really unique aesthetic, which is, it's identifiable.
I agree.
And this is like early art, and so it's actually going to get more polished. Some of it
Yeah,
is
sure.
getting closer.
Yeah. Like I said, this is only about 3 months, almost 4 months of development.
And they've got a whole another 4-month cycle to go at the end for next semester.
Come on, get it. There we go.
Each of the characters has kind of different speeds and different attributes. They can jump higher or move faster.
Doesn't get knocked back
It is-
by collisions.
Yeah, he just crushes through everything. Yeah, and so that's what we're working with.
You should try this.
Hey, you want to give it a run?
That'd be fun.
Private run.
You know, I would just embarrass myself.
Hey, you should try this.
Like right now, I've got a nice aura where you think I actually know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to challenge that.
Well, excellent. You guys have anything else you want to say about your game, or you want to move on to the next one?
I think, well,
If you play 20 minutes before a test, you'll have your
you
extra.
Right.
They're paying attention.
well, actually, yeah, when you brought that up, I was thinking about our game. I was like, well, there you go.
Well, you know, the brain science is actually pretty definitive on it. That when you get this level of exertion, your brain actually secures this protein, which is it's necessary for dendrite growth and axon growth. So in some ways, I think what's happening is you're actually putting what you're learning in hardware. So I think you're building your brain at the same time, so that I think that's one of the reasons why it makes it more sticky and better recall and a lot of good stuff.
Cool.
So we want to show you the other two games real quick too, so we'll give everyone a fair shot, right?
Thanks, Josh.
Good job. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, if you need to wrap up. So one of the things, let's let him set it up, and then, well, actually, let's see here. He's only got a couple minutes left.
We have signed.
Oh, that's what we
Well,
probably
we
should.
wanted to ask. if you might
Let's
sign.
skip then. But
So
you
will you
did
sign
one
a few
thing.
things for us?
Sure.
That'd be great. But one of the things we want to approach you on is your wisdom and advice. So we have an advisor, and we'd love it if we could just send you an email I know when we mechanics picture fight, we talk all the time. But if we could just ask you questions a couple of times a year,
Done.
get advice,
Done.
put you on our advisory board, that would be just brilliant for us.
Good.
Basically what it is our advisory board keeps all of the faculty honest and tells us what's working. And says, hey, that's just not the way that really works, that's not gonna help out anybody. And gives us, and we sort of look to the advisory board to be Kurt honest. And so we have a collection of pros and other people who are curtain honest with us.
Well, I try very hard to be obnoxious when it comes to
Yeah.
advisory positions.
Good.
But it's not in my nature.
It's not your nature. You really got stretched, do you? That's awesome.
Well, you know, my kids would say the opposite, but at the same time, say, I'd like to be charmed.
Yeah. But you know, by listening to our people, we're the #3 games program in the nation, right behind USC and MIT, with nowhere near their funding.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is because we listen to smart people. So we'd love to help us out with that.
Well, so I think Utah has a very special work ethic.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And I actually think that skiing may be a part of it.
There's a lot of coordination required.
Well, not just that, I think when you're skiing, you're building your brain, you're outside, it's really good, interval training. When you're going down, you're busting your butt.
Yeah.
Up on the slip, it's easy, busting your butt, coming down. It's really good.
And we have guys from all over the world that came just for the skiing.
Yeah, they've been so excited about the snow. They've never seen snow. It was out here a couple months ago, so it's a big deal.
Well, let's do a card swap and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And then, that's not even my card.
Wow.
I don't think so.
I don't know why.
I am seriously no card. I'm out.
They're in my office.
Okay, I have 3.
I'll take one. I'm probably safer.
Can you grab one of mine?
Yeah.
But I know that like Chris and Pete drug their palm machines all the way up here in the dream that you would sign them. So we're with us.
And then, Chris, give us that.
No, just, I just serve
I'll make it up to you, man. I was gonna try it. I was like, I think love it.
Should we try to get over here?
Oh yeah, we'll give that to
This is my original. Somehow you got me started on this crazy place I ended up. I think, yeah. I
Is that why you feel like it's sometimes undue? Is you don't want to be the one that says my parents hate you?
my old school one too. It's not quite as cool as the stand-up, but
In some ways, this is so shameless, but like, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen.
Do you mind signing one more?
You want to just sign my smartphone? Yeah. You started this.
But we appreciate your time, man. So
Yeah, this is great.
My pleasure. Anything else?
Anything else? Are you going to say something? That's what we get around here. Oh, yeah. So, the one last thing we ask you is, can we get a group shot with you? Sure. Get everybody else.
Oh, that would be so nice. Good group shot. All right, everyone against the window.
Everybody against the window.
My name's